All right.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to Romancing Grenada, Carriacou and PT Martinique. I am here romancing Grenada today with Mr. Lennie Fleary. I know you have a middle name, but Newton?
Yeah.
Say hello, Mr. Fleary.
Hello.
And tell us a little bit about who you are.
My name is Lennie Fleary. I was born in Grenada and from a place, St. Andrews, Grenada, from a place named Paradise.
Paradise.
Yeah, that's where a lot of people are hoping to be, but that's where I was born.
That's a good one. So you were a former Consul General.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about, well, first you were telling me you were NJM from inception.
Yes. Almost from the inception when Maurice Bishop's faction and Unison White Man's faction got together. And here I became a supporter.
In the
I think there was in this 1974, I think it was.
Oh, that early.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And so I was one of the chief organizers for the New Jewel movement.
From this end?
Yes, in Toronto.
Okay.
Yes, and many of Maurice Bishop's visits before the revolution, of course, he stayed with here, and I used to take him around and.
He stayed here in this house.
Right in this
And
apartment.
so, I mean, the view, you have a panoramic view of the city. I got to see the Maurice Bishop room, which we can't really show right now, but it's a fabulous view of Bayview Valley there. Yeah. And Pottery Road and all those intersection roads. And behind us is the lake.
Lake Ontario.
It's a beautiful, beautiful view. Up
Thank you.
to that area, which, again, I have camera issues. So I can't do panoramic. It's the northern section, nice fall colors at the moment. So I imagine what a beautiful time he had here.
Well, that's true.
Yes.
Yes, he liked Canada. Well, Toronto in particular.
That's nice.
Yes.
That's nice. And so you would take him around and stuff, and then came the revolution.
Yes.
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, excuse me. Yes, came the revolution. Yes, and after the revolution, there were Grenadian supporters in many different countries.
Yes.
And I was the main organizer in Toronto.
All right.
So I received a phone call. And they said, okay, well, you've heard about the revolution and Grenadians in different countries have taken over the consulates and high commissioner's office.
Yeah.
So they told me that, I should take over.
Oh, nice.
But who was the high commissioner at the time? Jennifer Hosten.
Oh. You had big shoes to fill.
Yes, and a long distance to travel as well.
Also, we're in Ottawa.
In Ottawa, yes.
Oh, you were High Commissioner.
No, Jennifer Hosten was the High Commissioner. I was supposed to replace her.
Oh, okay.
Because of all the changes that were made.
Oh, okay.
And I said, okay, well, I would think about it.
Okay.
But anyway, I was trained in England as a motor mechanic.
Okay.
And I came over to Canada and I worked as an industrial machinist. So I used to work in a machine shop, in a garage machine shop. I didn't have any office experience.
I see.
So I thought, well, I would not be doing my country any justice.
Oh, that's so fair.
To represent them at that level.
Okay.
Because I wasn't there for the prestige, but I was there to provide a service at the highest level to my country. And I didn't think that's the area I would be able to serve in its maximum. So I turned it down. And so anyway, they wanted to replace Jennifer Hosten, Craig. And Kenrick Radix was the Grenada ambassador to the United Nations. Another guy named Kenneth Burke, he was in the consulate in New York. And so they both came over to go to Ottawa to dismiss Jennifer.
Okay.
And they stayed here the Monday, they spent the weekend here. So on the Monday, I drove them to the airport and they went to Ottawa with the intention of course, dismissing her and collecting the keys from her.
Okay.
However, when they came back, I went to the airport to meet them. And Kennedy Radix was, at the time, the Grenada ambassador to the United Nations. At the time, he said, Lennie, we couldn't do what we went to do. So I asked him, I said, why? What happened? I said, was she surrounded by the police? So he said, no, and they explained.
Okay.
And they said that, Jennifer Hosten, Craig is her official name, but Grenadians love her, so we all call her Jenny.
Yes.
So if you don't mind, I'll refer to her as Jenny.
No problem.
Okay. So anyway, they said that they told her what was the purpose of their visit.
Yes.
And she said, well, Jennifer assured them that although she was appointed by Gary, she was not in Canada to serve Gary or his party.
Beautiful.
She was there to support Grenada.
Amen.
And she was prepared to serve Grenada at the highest level.
Very nice.
And she said, okay, if they wanted to stay on, she would, but she would not be serving Maurice Bishop, and she would not be serving the New Jewel movement. She would be serving Grenada.
I like that.
And so they said that they were so impressed with her patriotism that they told her, that's the person we're looking for.
That's good.
And so, and as a matter of fact, I was, I give myself a round of applause because,
I do too.
because what happened is that of all the offices, and that's true, of all the offices that were taken over, the office in Ottawa here in Canada that was functioning the best. It was the most productive of all the other offices. So Jenny needs a round of applause for that. So
can I, just a little explanation.
Okay.
If you're appointed to represent Grenada in Canada, if you're in Toronto, you're Consul General. If you're in Ottawa, you're High Commissioner.
Yeah, in Ottawa, you're High Commissioner.
Your title is High Commissioner.
Yeah, but after I turned down the position for Ottawa, they said they wanted me to represent Grenada on a political level. Okay. So William Otway was the Consul General in Toronto, and so they appointed me as the Vice Consul.
Okay.
But then after Mr. Otway returned to Grenada, and so I became the Consul General.
So what year was that?
Wait till I think 74 when the revolution, just after the revolution.
No,
when he left. Yeah, when the revolution was in 79.
Yes, 79.
Yes, 79. Sorry, I was going around when the New Jewel came together. Yes, it was around, I think Mr. Otway must have left in maybe 81. Could have been that.
So close to the end of the movement.
Maybe between 80 and 81. And he set up an office, travel office in Grenada.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That is good.
Yeah. So that's, as I said, from Vice Consul, then I moved up to
Consul General. No, Consul. Yes, Consul.
Yeah, honorary Consul, because at the time I was a Canadian citizen.
Oh.
So I could not have been Consul General, but honorary.
Okay.
Honorary.
There's a lot of politics to this.
A lot of, I know, a lot of labels.
Little idiosyncrasies.
Yeah.
So let's go back a little.
Okay.
You from Paradise. Where were you a SAS boy too?
Not really.
Okay.
Yeah, I went to, we had like the junior level and then the senior level. So at the Anglican school.
So then let me ask you age if you don't mind. How
no,
old
I don't mind. I'm a young guy. I'm 86 years old.
Woo! Of course, congratulations. Well, my cousin Harold, he usually says, I'm a yesterday girl and he's a last week boy. So you're a last week boy.
Okay, I will join in.
Yeah.
I don't mind. Yes.
Well, congratulations, 86.
Yes, 86.
I'm not good at math at this moment.
I was born on July 5th, 1937.
July 5th.
Yes.
So your parents, tell me about your parents.
Okay, my mother was born in Grenada. My father was born in Carriacou,
Yes.
but her mother was born in Carriacou in a place called Mount Royal.
Excellent.
Yes, so,
It's so funny. We have this great connection.
yes. And as a matter of fact, there's something a lot of Grenadians don't know. Now, Petty Carronage, which is the Fleary's estate
Yes.
in Carriacou,
Yes.
this is the only estate in Grenada that has never been divided. All the other estates been, divided, and so Petty Carronage is the only one that remains undivided. And there's a certain section, Petty Carronage, a place called Gun Point, that belongs to St. Vincent.
I know, I heard that.
But a lot of Grenadians don't know that.
I think the guy was drunk. He did the measurement. But
he had to be.
I remember once the Vincentian Prime Minister tried to make some contention about his little piece of island.
Yeah.
And I was thinking we should do him like what Shakespeare did to, is it Bassanio in the Pont de Flesh?
I'm not sure.
Merchant of Venice.
Yeah, okay.
So you can take your Pont de Flesh but no blood.
Yeah.
So I know the Fleary last name is a predominantly Carriacou last name, and you told me Winston Fleary, who was cultural ambassador and all that.
Yes, his father and my father were brothers.
So you're first cousins.
First cousins.
So the Flearys have been diligently, giving their all to Grenada.
Well, yes, and actually, the Fleary, the name Fleary, was actually born in Petty Carronage in Carriacou. Just shortly after the Haitian Revolution, the Haitian wanted to free the slaves through the Caribbean and South America and the United States, wherever slavery existed. And so two brothers left Haiti with the surname Fleury, Fleury.
Right.
They went to Guadeloupe, which is a French island.
Yes.
And then, I don't know, but then they came to Carriacou. From Guadeloupe, they came to Carriacou, and they bought Petty Carronage Estate. And they misspelled the name.
That was
So
common.
instead of putting Fleury, they put Fleary. And because the English wasn't good enough to point out the change, they kept it. So that gave birth to
a new last name. That happened very frequently in the 1800s. And actually, I saw the original because your cousin Winston showed it to me. The original land deed.
Yes.
He had a copy. He passed away, God rest his soul.
Yes.
Yeah, and I saw it. That fancy writing and stuff like that. So, but your parents moved to Paradise in the cocoa.
Yes, but my mother went to Venezuela as a very young lady. My father went to Venezuela as well, so they met in Venezuela, and they had a son who was born in Venezuela.
Oh, I see.
And so my father was working with an oil company, Lago, in Venezuela, and so they were opening up a new refinery in Aruba.
Yes.
So they laid him off, and he and my mother came back with a little boy.
And a lot of money.
And so they bought some properties in Grenada.
Very nice.
And 14 years after, I was born.
Woo. So they had a good romance.
I know. But my brother was born in Venezuela.
Yeah.
I was born in Grenada 14 years after he was born.
Right.
Yes.
So where is he now?
He's passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes. He grew up went to school, everything in Grenada. And then then after my father was laid off from Venezuela, and the Lago Oil Company opened up in Aruba. They sent for my father. So he went to Aruba, and they started him off with his seniority from Venezuela. So he had a head start.
Very nice.
And when my brother was 21, my father sent for him. My mother was in Grenada. My father sent for him. So he went to Aruba, and he had a girlfriend in Grenada. So he sent for her. She joined him in Aruba, and they got married there. And then Then they moved back to Venezuela.
So yeah, we've never seen him again. We've
Yeah.
lost so many good boys and girls
yes,
to Trinidad, Venezuela,
True.
Aruba, and so on.
That's quite true. Yes.
That's very nice. And why I mentioned the cocoa is because I just seem to be coming across mostly everybody from Paradise now seem to have been coming from the cocoa, which sounds like a very vibrant community.
Well, I'll tell you something. It's not the cocoa anymore. It's Chocolate City now.
Wow.
From cocoa to chocolate. Chocolate
Very
City.
nice. Yes. Progression.
Yes, it is. Yes.
Well, this is a very nice little chat. So, I don't know. I want you to tell me a little bit more about what the job is. What does it entail being High Commissioner to a country?
Well, probably you have to ask Jenny this one because she was the High Commissioner.
High Commissioner, sorry.
But
Consul General.
Yeah, well, okay. And again, it was honorary. I was working at the time. I didn't quit my job, but the government was paying for a recorder, so then I could have taken messages from work wherever it was. And I used to go to the office during the evening time and on weekends. People were in those days mainly, they wanted to know more about Grenada and what was happening and things. So I was in a position to tell them.
Okay.
I was the agent for the Free West Indian newspaper.
Okay.
Yes, in Canada. So I was responsible for distributing the papers across Canada.
Okay.
Yes. And yes, so that was.
Well, I tell you, we had a little chat before this official taping, and we had a few laughs. It was just you brought up a word which I haven't heard in a long time. That was Mama Guy in you.
Yes.
And I it's a long time since I heard the word Mama Guy, so it was kind of refreshing to go back.
Well, what brought around the word Mama Guy is that you told me you had a son, and when you told me his age, I said, no, you Mama Guy me. You couldn't have a son that age. Right. That old. So that's how it came.
I remember that was a regular thing. Anytime somebody tried to pull one over you said, don't Mama Guy me.
That's true. You tried to Mama Guy me. Yes.
So
I think it's used popularly. It's a popular usage in Trinidad and Tobago too.
Yeah. Well, when we were growing up, when I was growing up, it was popular. But now kids are more into the media and media things.
Definitely, yes.
They're more of a highbrow kind of language, like a different kind of language to us.
Yes.
And we use a lot of mixed patois English words. I remember even some payol. You remember what payol was?
Well, we used to. Payol we used it, but we were.
Some of the Dutch, some are English, some are.
Yes, but I don't remember that now because I left Grenada quite a number of years ago.
Yeah, when did you leave Grenada? What year?
I left Grenada in 1957.
10 years before my birth.
And the only way of getting to England, from Grenada to England, the only way of getting there was by boat.
Right.
And I can remember we left St. George's and the boat went to Venezuela.
Oh, south.
So we left on a Saturday afternoon to Venezuela, and then we left Venezuela on Monday afternoon, and we went to Trinidad. And so from Trinidad, the next stop was Italy, Genoa in Italy, and for 8 days. Kid you not, for 8 days, you look around, you don't see a rock, not even a bird, and for 8 days, we sailed from Trinidad to Genoa in Italy.
How was the sailing? Because I remember, and maybe you remember, when we used to go to Carriacou in the early 70s and stuff, it was vomiting all the way.
Yeah.
Was it that?
No. But unfortunately, they had some, I don't know if it's dengue fever or whatever, on the boat, and there was a girl who was going to get married, going to England to get married, and she died on the boat.
Oh dear.
Yes, And as a matter of fact, she and I were going to stay in the same house. The guy who sent for her to get married and the person who was going to receive me, they were living in the same house.
So were there lots of people? I know that time lots of people were traveling. So how much would you say would be en route with you, like to go to England?
You mean from Grenada? There were not many.
Not many?
No, not many, yes. But there were people from, on the boat, there were people from Suriname.
Oh, because you went to Venezuela, so pick up South Americans.
Yes.
Okay.
And there were people from Italy who were working in Venezuela, so they were returning home to Italy as well. So it was quite a mixture. There were quite a number of Trinidadians.
What was the name of your boat?
TV Venezuela.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know, all these things for us are lost to history, and it's nice to talk about them. And
of course.
Just to have some documents some way of the way we were.
Yes, yes. That's right.
So I think it's a nice little chat. Anything else you want to add that you think I was watching a Matlock show.
Okay.
And I heard this guy say this thing, and it just sounded like this is the purpose of the show that I do. He said the 5 stages of show business is like, in the beginning, who's Lennie Henry? Then they'll say, get me Lennie Fleary, sorry, Lennie Fleary.
Okay.
Lennie Henry is a British actor.
Okay, right. Okay. You're really promoting me there.
I am the one. I mean, you're that good. And then it would be, get me a young Lennie Fleary.
Okay.
And then get me a Lennie Fleary type.
And
then, who's Lennie Fleary? So I said, that is sort of but we, as Grenadians, we don't even go through those 5 stages. The minute you're out of the spotlight, people tend to forget the contributions you made. And I thought, we need to document this thing. So when I heard about you, I called you, and it was my purpose to make sure we had this little chat on record so Grenadians would know the contribution you made. And you're wearing your lovely Grenada colored shirt today.
Well, thank you.
In this beautiful, beautiful place. It's
Okay.
like a palace here.
Well,
I
thank
can't
you
show
very
them
much.
the chandelier, but man, it's good.
Thank you very much.
So,
thank you.
I want to thank you.
Well, even before that, when I say there was a group of us, we wanted to make a contribution to Grenada, all Grenadians, no partisan in the stuff, all Grenadians.
Yes.
So we formed an organization, which we call it the Grenada Education and Health Project, and we decided that we wanted to do something like that would reach all Grenadians, and nothing partisan.
Yes.
So we decided that number one, we would not send cash to Grenada, but we would send material. So we were able to send a lot of material to schools and all the hospitals. They were in Maryborough, St. George's, Carriacou, school and senior citizen homes. We sent a whole lot of materials.
So how many members were in this group?
There was probably about 10 of us.
Okay.
Yes, about 10.
What year do you remember?
It was around. It was just shortly after the invasion.
Oh, so in 83?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So 83, 84, yes.
As Grenadians, we've been through a lot and came through strong, eh?
I know.
We're so
It's true.
resilient. It's all
Yes.
I have a friend that says starting from the Caribs, but I mean, the Caribs were, standing up for themselves, but Grenada wasn't formed yet. But I think we just continue in that spirit. Once you're a Grenadian, we rebounce.
Yeah.
We rebounds.
That's
And we're
right.
always out there helping. I didn't know, I never heard about this group, Grenada Education and Health Project.
And the Health Project.
Health Project.
As a matter of fact, we sent quite a bit of supplies to Carriacou, the hospital in Carriacou. Okay. Unfortunately, as I said, although there were so many of us involved in doing it, but they have my name only on the honor list of people who have made contributions. So
Okay.
it's in the hospital, but I'm saying unfortunately because I didn't do it on my own. And
Well,
for
do you mind
the other
telling me?
members,
Can
know,
you remember
were
who
involved.
else were there, and then we can give them a mention now?
Oh boy, so many. Well, how many are alive now?
No, whether
no,
they're alive or not.
Yeah,
So
we have Calvin and Joyce Johnson,
okay.
who's still alive. Martin Squires.
Oh, I know Martin Square.
You know Martin Squires.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Then Olive James,
All right.
still alive. Then you have Vida is alive. She was married to God, his name was Gordon. He passed away. Romaine. It was Vida and Gordon Romaine.
Okay.
But Vida is still with us, and
Okay.
Gordon has passed away.
Oh,
Yeah.
so we're at 4. You're 5.
Yeah. Okay. Do you know Hutch? I know you know Hutchinson. What Hutchinson again?
Where is he
Dennis Hutchison.
from? Oh, I remember Dennis.
Dennis Hutchison. Then you have a guy who's well known as Greens. He was a member of the organization too.
I don't know
Greens.
I know. Is he the one with the restaurant?
His name is Eric Benjamin.
Oh,
But he's well known as Greens. He moved back to Grenada and he started a successful business.
okay.
But then he's back in Toronto. So
Oh, okay.
yes,
Oh, I think I know him. He has a barrel business now.
that's correct.
Okay.
Yes,
okay,
yes.
yes.
He was yes. I think I don't want, since that I'm calling people who are still alive, I don't want to miss anybody. But yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we were up to 6. So
Yeah.
the rest in time where we will get the rest.
Yes.
Other people will tell us, but at least
Okay.
some people get acknowledged.
Yes.
Were the Robert Nuss so involved as well?
No.
Not
he
then.
was- yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, he was involved mainly with the Grenada Association and,
Yes.
and so, but not
Not
with
in that
our
group.
No.
Okay. All right.
No.
All right.
Yeah.
So, that's it. I mean, I'm ready for you. Tell us everything you know.
Well,
We
it
want to
might be-
know
but
what you know.
It might be too long.
We can do part 2 then.
Okay.
Maybe
Okay. There is a renewed interest, as you know, with what happened on October the 19th when Maurice Bishop got shot and
Right.
other members got shot, and so for the first time, October 19th,
Yes.
it was celebrated as a holiday.
Yes.
So, but so I think I'd like to say a word or two about the invasion and what
Yes.
after that.
Yes.
Now, Maurice Bishop and other Grenadians got shot and killed on the 19th of October.
Yes.
Before that, we didn't hear of anything happening.
No.
Maurice Bishop was on a house arrest and
Right.
nothing happened. And the United States invaded on the 25th of October.
Yes.
Now, after the
1983.
1983, yes.
Yes.
After the 19th, up to the time the United States invaded
Yes.
on the 25th,
Yes.
nothing had happened. There is no person got killed,
No.
nothing, just
I was
quiet.
there. It was quiet.
Oh, were you there?
I was
Okay,
there.
okay, very good. It
Yeah.
was quiet.
Yes.
Yet the United States came in on the 25th, and well, the first thing they did was they went to the Governor General's home, Sir Paul Scone's home, and they took him to safety on an American ship.
Warship out there.
Warship, yes. And then they started dropping bombs. In fact, they bombed up a mental hospital, and
Yes.
some mental patients got killed, and many persons' homes were bombed. So, and I think some people call it a rescue mission. And the only people I would say who got rescued were those killers themselves, because if the United States had not invaded,
Right.
they would have been wiped out. I'm
Right.
telling you, and I think, quite frankly, as a Grenadian, I really feel it's an insult for people to tell me that the United States send the military to Grenada because black Grenadians were killing black Grenadians. So they sent the military to rescue some of the people. They wanted to get rid of the revolution. And so that was one way of getting to Grenada to make sure they killed the revolution. Because there was nothing happening after that. As I said, no, it was very peaceful, and you said you were there. So
yeah, well, they didn't come, as they were saying back then, they didn't come to rescue Grenadians, they came to rescue their students. Wasn't that the original?
That's the excuse.
Right.
Because the students there was no threat, it was in complete safety. And although these guys, they knew that, but they were very protected. They wanted to protect the American students, that the United States wouldn't have an excuse
to come in.
Yeah,
now, especially as adults, we know that.
Yes.
We know they use that as an excuse, and we know they weren't rescuing us. So,
correct.
But they never said they came to rescue us, and that's the mistake we made in assuming they came to rescue us.
Yes.
They came to rescue their students. They're saying that was their original plan, because no Grenadian cried for help at that time, as far as I know.
No, because what President Reagan said is that the Governor General of Grenada sent an appeal to him for help.
Oh, they did?
No, that's what he said.
Okay.
That's what he said. And then he said Eugenia Charles, who was the Prime Minister of Dominica, she actually applied.
The ad fall.
Yeah, hold on. Yes. But anyway, so we know the invasion was illegal because, and what Paul Scone did, the Governor General, was illegal. He was there to represent the Queen, not the United States of America. Right. And so if anything, any problem, he should have contacted the Queen immediately.
Yes. He
did nothing like that. He didn't need to contact the Queen, or Margaret Thatcher was the Prime Minister of Britain.
Right.
Instead,
he called Reagan.
It is alleged.
It
is alleged that he was working for the United States. Because the first person they rescued was him. They took him on the boat, and that's recorded.
Unfortunately, though, Mr. Fleary, we in the past, I don't know what now, we didn't have any way of learning what our rights were. We didn't know what our civic duty really was. We didn't know, like here, I can go to school and study politics, administrative studies. I can study specifically to work with the government. And every kid has to take civics in school here. So they know their civic duty, and they know how things are. They know what the government means, what it is, what the duties are. And so we didn't know that. We were just existing.
Yes.
So they take advantage of all this.
We didn't even know Grenadian history.
But that's why we're trying to clean it up now.
And I think the government in Grenada, the present government, I think they're doing a good job. They would have Grenadian history taught in schools from...
Yes, I heard that.
Yes.
And they're planning to recognize people who make contributions. And I started to write this, and that's why I do the show, because writing is harder.
Yeah.
The who's who in different categories or different areas. So the who's who in sports, the who's who in as government services or civil servants, and who's who in whatever it is, doctors, lawyers, whatever field or profession you choose. Have a Grenada who's who of this.
Yes.
So slowly, I think we'll get there. And we'll be able to, because they say if you don't know your history, if you don't know where you come from, you will never know where you're going.
That's right. And you tend to make the same mistake.
Mistake over and over.
Yeah.
You it's not recorded anyway.
That's right.
But to me, the key is we have to know our people, who they are and what they did.
Yes, that's important.
And that gives us kind of, it's like fertilizer for accomplishing more great things. When you read like Willie Redhead's books and stuff about how much debate teams Grenada send overseas and all that, and I mean, we lost that for a while. I think maybe it's coming back, but we lost it.
Yeah.
And we used to spend moonlight nights on the step.
That's right. That's what the stories were told.
Yes. That's what we learned about who our heroes were.
Yeah.
We learned a few patois words.
Yes.
But this media New age media has taken away all of this, and so we're gonna try to bring it back slowly, bring our culture back.
That would be nice.
Bring our culture back.
Yes.
I'm all for globalization and stuff, maybe in economics,
Mm-hmm.
but in terms of culture, you need to have something that holds you where you are, something that holds you upright.
That's important.
Because they say if you're not standing firm, any little wind would blow you down.
Yes,
right?
that's sure.
So you need roots. You need roots.
Yes. Yeah.
So, Mr. Fleary, I want to thank you so much for being on or romancing Grenada with me.
Okay,
Yeah.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
We have this kinship, and
Yes.
I have a friend that gets very annoyed when I kind of separate Grenada and Carriacou.
Oh,
But
okay.
it's just Grenada is the state, and then there are 3 islands: Carriacou, Grenada, Petit-Martin.
That's why it got its independence as Grenada as a triland state, including Carriacou and Petit-Martin.
Right. And the passport says Grenada.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the state. Then each island is an island in the state.
I'm so glad you raised that,
Yes.
because I know it may not be the wisest thing to mention, but I always had problem with it. Because to talk about Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit-Martin, to me is like saying Canada, Prince Edward Island, and Newfoundland.
Newfoundland.
Or say
Right.
United States and Hawaii.
Right.
When you say the United States, Hawaii is included. When you say Canada, Newfoundland and Prince Edward Island. So when you say Grenada, and that's why you got independence. That's Grenada as a triland state. So when you say Grenada, Carriacou and Petit-Martin.
should be included.
Yeah. So then if someone says, well, ask me, are you Grenadian? What part of Grenada are you from? So, okay, I'm from St. Andrew. Someone from Petit-Martin, I'm from Petit-Martin. Someone say I'm from Carriacou. You know, but
it's
so because when
Grenada.
it's Grenada, so
Right.
they're all included.
Yes.
Right. Yes.
I agree with you. I agree with you. And I noticed too, this our new prime minister is trying to make us rethink how we see the 3 islands.
Yes.
Because I noticed in most of his speech, he usually say Petit-Martin, Carriacou,
And,
Grenada.
yes.
So it's
Yeah.
like, because many people, as how the people in St. George's, I like to say St. George's Parish,
Yeah.
usually
Yeah.
put the emphasis on St. George, not St. Andrews anywhere else.
That's true.
We do this. We that are born in the island of Grenada put that emphasis that Grenada is the most important of the 3 because
Yes.
the seat of government is there.
Right.
But I asked my friend the other day, when Grenada had the seat of government for the Windward Islands, was Grenada more important than the others?
That's correct. That's right. That's a good question. Because the people from St. Vincent and St. Lucia and Dominica would never get as more important there.
Yeah, doesn't matter what the seat of government
Yes,
is. We're equally
true.
important.
Yes.
Yes.
Right.
So with Carriacou kinship, that's the part of Grenada we're from.
Yes.
You and I are both from St. Andrews Parish.
Yes, that's right.
And it's good to be able to share this moment with you and to hopefully people get to realize and recognize the contributions you've made and the contribution you continue to make.
Thank you very much.
And I'm very happy you welcomed me into your home and I got to see the Maurice Bishop room. It's excited.
Promise this would not be the last visit. Nothing to do a show.
Absolutely not.
Drop in and say,
No, I know.
come let us all talk.
Well, first when I heard your name, I said maybe you're a very hoity-toity kind of man. So carrying a big name like that,
my
you know,
goodness, yes.
I'm very glad you're very friendly and willing to share and very helpful.
Always.
And I got to meet your wife. Unfortunately, I didn't meet your son, but next time.
Yes, but before I'll tell you, I've saved during the revolution. I'd saved the Grenadian government a large sum of money because many people who were involved in the government at the time, many of them stayed here, including Bonnet Court, but not the same room as Maurice Bishop. Court had a different room.
Okay.
But they were made quite a lot, yes, many.
Yes. Do you have lots of pictures then?
No, that's the mistake I made. I didn't take any pictures.
Yeah,
Okay.
sometimes when you write in it, you don't think
Yeah.
about pictures.
Yes, I didn't think about it.
Okay.
And of course, I never thought the revolution would end up the way it did.
Yes,
either,
yes,
you know,
yes,
so.
yes. Unfortunately.
Yes, unfortunately.
But thank God we're moving forward as Grenadians.
Yes, yes.
Tell me a little. So you were not in Grenada in 1974?
No.
You didn't visit either that year?
That year I didn't visit, no.
Oh, okay.
But I came directly from England in 1967
To Canada?
to Canada.
I see.
Yeah.
That's the year I was born.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna, maybe we're gonna talk a little bit, but if you know anybody who would have been highly involved in government in around 1974 on either side of the spectrum, please let me know. I remember the strike. I remember my mom walking with us from St. Andrews to St. George's to get sugar by her dad.
Okay.
I just want to talk a little bit about the atmosphere at the time, what it was like.
Okay.
And so anybody, as we're coming up to the 50th, who would have thought 50 years has gone by?
But again, the thing is, I was a little removed from the actual activities on the ground in Grenada because, like I said, I spent 10 years in London, England, and then I moved from there. I came to Canada in 1967. But do you mind if I say a little something about Maurice Bishop?
Yeah, sure.
You know, okay. And I happen to know Maurice Bishop very well. Like I said, we on this table, we spend a lot of time talking and, eating and things like that. And so I happen to know a lot about him. And he was about the most down-to-earth person I've ever met.
Very good. Yeah.
But something a lot of people don't know, because people talk about the coup d'etat. It was not a coup d'etat that took place. It was a revolution. A coup d'etat is that you go to bed, you wake up in the morning, and you hear some army take over, and who is leading the,
that's right.
But the New Jewel movement had been struggling. Well, no, not even before that. Not before that. Struggling for years before they actually took over, and it was because Gary had left orders to have them liquidated, and so they decided, well, look, we have to make a move. So Maurice Bishop, that's what I want to say a little something about him. He, as we all know, he was a lawyer. He was in private practice, and Maurice represented so many people for free. People who had their rights trampled and their human rights, and they couldn't afford to go to court to defend themselves. Maurice represented these people for free. He even went to Dominica once to represent a Rasta guy who they had some trump-up charges against him, a fellow named Desmond Trotter. And so when Maurice found out the guy was innocent, he went all the way to Dominica to represent the guy. And it turned out afterwards that even the Prime Minister had to resign as a result of this
trump-up
journey.
charges.
But again, to take it further now, when Maurice Bishop died, he died poor. He had nothing. And he was the Prime Minister of the country for 4.5 years. He was in private practice, and I know it for a fact. So Maurice has done something that I don't think anybody else ever done. He was an elected member of parliament.
Yes.
And the other coalition party,
Yes.
he was the leader. Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
He was. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I should have told him. He was the leader of the coalition party, and then he went on to lead the revolution. So I don't know if anybody who had been an elected member of parliament, leader of a coalition, and has overthrown the same government. So I don't know if it ever happened.
I think we should look into that.
But I know that he died poor.
Yeah, it's very sad.
Yes.
But I mean, I'm not trying to be on any political side or have any political agenda. But on both sides, the way he died was horrible. And then what hurt me as a Grenadian on the other side is that picture they had of Code parading without the shirt. I don't know that they would have disrespected any other person, political
You only
prisoner or anything.
blindfolded?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the, all his
Mhm.
stomach showing.
Blindfolded.
Didn't let him
yeah.
dress himself properly
Yeah.
and stuff. So as Grenadians, we should take offense to that. Not because we're for him or against him,
Yes, I
but
understand.
because I thought it was a dehumanizing act.
Yeah, well, that's what the purpose of
Yeah.
the whole thing was
Yeah,
about.
so-
Yeah.
And we let them just walk in and take advantage of us in all kinds of ways, and we just couldn't see that.
Yeah, that's it.
But on that note,
And before you go talking about that, I hope we also, the only thing I thought, Grenadians would benefit from was the embassy they have in Grenada. I said Grenadians will no longer have to go to Barbados to apply for visa to go to the United States. Although there's an American embassy in Grenada, Grenadians still have to go to Barbados.
Yeah.
So what is it all about, and what's this embassy? Who's interested in stuff? Yeah.
We're very nice people.
Yeah,
So-
I know.
We don't ask deep questions.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
I mean, we can go a lot, but
I know. But, it's really a pleasure
yes,
meeting you, and
we will continue our conversation.
please, yes,
And
we'll
I
do
will
that.
come back to visit, but not
Yes.
not in the winter.
No, well,
When the
okay.
spring comes,
You know my telephone number. We could keep
Yes.
in touch by
Yes,
telephone
yes,
too.
by
We could
telephone.
say a lot on telephone.
definitely.
Yes, yes.
So let me thank the audience for
Yeah.
being with us, Mr. Lennie, Lennie, Newton Fleary, and Cindy and Louis Walcott saying thank you for watching Romancing Grenada, Carrico and Pitimatnik, for watching Romancing Pitimatnik, Carrico, Grenada.
Yes, that's it. Okay.
Continue to watch, like, share, and subscribe. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.